Hey guys, thank you for being back to another episode of That's All Funny. That's All Funny. That's the podcast. That's All Funny. Thank you for showing up to the show, guys. I'm back here with my buddy Chat GPT. I paid on my iPhone the $30 a year to see what the deal is with this thing. And let's see if we get some use out of it, because like I said, me just being here at the house, kind of hard for me to write or live a life and have stories to tell. I mean, I still will, like the exorcism I had the other day and all that. But let's ask the AI some things, okay? So first off, ask it an easy question, or mostly an easy question here. Would you go all in with Ace King in Texas Hold'em poker? And let's see what it has to say. As an AI language model, I do not have personal preferences or opinions, but I can provide some information that may help you make a decision. In Texas Hold'em, Ace King is a strong hand, but it is not invincible. Whether or not you should go all in with Ace King depends on various factors such as your position, the number of players at the table, the size of the blinds, and the size of your chip stack. If you are in an early position and facing a raise, it may be best to proceed with caution and consider folding Ace King. However, if you are in a later position and facing a raise or re-raise, going all in with Ace King might be a good option, especially if you have a relatively short stack and need to make a move. It is also important to pay attention to the players at the table and their tendencies. If you know that a particular player is very tight and only raises with premium hands, it may be best to fold Ace King rather than risk going all in. In summary, going all in with Ace King in Texas Hold'em poker is situational and depends on various factors. It's important to consider your position, the number of players at the table, the size of the blinds, and the size of your chip stack before making a decision. I mean, that's pretty good advice for an AI, right? Like it gives you the pros, the cons, and all that. So, that's pretty good. Let me see what else I asked it here. I asked it a few things here. Where is there? Are there more than two genders, right? Okay. Yes, there is a growing recognition and understanding that gender is a complex and multifaceted concept that cannot be limited to a binary system of male or female. While the exact number of genders varies depending on culture and context, many people recognize and identify with gender identities and expressions beyond the traditional binary. Some common gender identities beyond the binary include non-binary, genderqueer, gender fluid, and agender. It is important to respect and acknowledge people's gender identities and expressions, and to create inclusive and supportive environments for everyone, regardless of their gender identity. And I'm like, okay, well, I asked it, can you become any race you declare yourself to be? Here it goes. No, it is not possible to change one's race simply by declaring oneself to be a different race. Race is a social construct that is based on physical characteristics such as skin color, facial features, and hair texture, as well as cultural and historical factors. While race is a complex and multidimensional concept, it is not determined solely by an individual's self-identification. It is important to recognize and respect the racial and cultural identities of others, and to refrain from appropriating or falsely claiming a racial identity that is not one's own. Cultural appropriation and false claims of racial identity can be harmful and disrespectful to those who have experienced discrimination and marginalization based on their race. Instead, it is important to celebrate and embrace diversity, to work towards creating inclusive and equitable communities for all. Ha! Like that's gonna happen, am I right? Yeah, that's a silly fucking world to live in, right? I asked it one last thing here. Can I be any age I declare myself to be? No, you cannot simply declare yourself to be a different age than what is recorded on your official documents, such as your birth certificate. Age is a biological and chronological fact that is determined by the date of your birth. While there may be some variation in how people experience and perceive age, it is not possible to change your age simply by declaring yourself to be a different age. It is important to be honest about your age, as age is relevant in many aspects of life, including education, employment, and legal matters. Misrepresenting your age can have serious consequences such as legal penalties, loss of credibility, and damage to personal relationships. Instead, it is important to embrace your age and focus on living a fulfilling life regardless of your age. Yeah, I guess. I mean, you could ask the pedos that and see what they tell you, but that's a whole different story, I guess, right? Here's one. I asked the AI, is there a God? The existence of God is a matter of belief, faith, and personal perspective rather than a question that can be definitively answered through empirical evidence or logical reasoning. Different people and cultures have different beliefs and concepts of God or gods. Some people believe in the existence of a single all powerful God, while others believe in multiple gods or a divine force that permeates the universe. Ultimately, the question of whether or not God exists is a deeply personal one that each individual must explore and answer for themselves based on their own beliefs, experiences, and understanding of the world. I mean, that's, pretty fair answer. Is there an afterlife? The concept of an afterlife is a matter of faith and belief, and there's no scientifically proven evidence that definitively confirms or denies its existence. Many religions and spiritual traditions propose the existence of an afterlife in which an individual's soul or consciousness continues to exist in some form after physical death. However, these beliefs vary widely depending on the culture, religion, and individual interpretation. Some people believe in reincarnation, in which the soul is reborn into a new body after death, while others believe in an eternal heaven or hell. Ultimately, the question of whether or not there's an afterlife is a deeply personal one, and each person must explore it and answer it for themselves based on their own beliefs, experiences, and understanding of the world. I mean, that's fair too, right? You either believe in it, you don't believe in it, right? Okay. Next one, is squirt just pee? There is some debate among medical professionals and researchers about the nature of female ejaculation. Commonly referred to as squirting, some studies suggest that female ejaculate contains prostatic specific antigen, PSA, which is also found in male semen, leading some researchers to conclude that female ejaculation may originate from the female prostate gland. Other studies have suggested that female ejaculation may be a form of urine, as it has been found to contain some of the same components as urine. However, regardless of its composition, squirting is a natural and healthy bodily function that can provide sexual pleasure for some women. It is important to note that there is no right or wrong way to experience sexual pleasure. An individual should feel free to explore their own bodies and preferences without shame or judgment. I mean, that's great, There is the AI knows where it's at. It knows what to fucking knows how to answer some questions. Here's the next one. How big is Batista's dick? As an AI language model, it is not appropriate or respectful to discuss someone's private anatomy or personal details without their consent. It is important to respect people's privacy and boundaries, and to avoid making assumptions or spreading rumors about individuals based on their physical appearance or other personal characteristics. It is also important to remember that a person's worth and value do not depend on their physical attributes or sexual experiences. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's got a big dick, right? We're all agreeing that Batista's dick is fucking huge, right? Everybody knows that. That's just what everybody knows. I ask it here, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? And it tells me the famous tongue twister, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood, is a playful and humorous phrase that doesn't have a clear or definitive answer. Woodchucks, also known as groundhogs, are burrowing rodents that are not known for their ability to chuck or move large amounts of wood. The phrase is simply a fun exercise in wordplay and alliteration and doesn't have any practical application or scientific value. That's fucking retarded, because obviously, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? The answer is all the wood that a woodchuck could if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Like, you should just fucking know that, you know what I mean? What's this here? Do plants have souls? My favorite question to ask someone. The concept of a soul is typically associated with religious or spiritual beliefs, and there's no scientific evidence that definitively proves or disproves the existence of a soul in plants or any other living beings. While plants are living organisms that exhibit various behaviors and responses to their environment, such as growth, reproduction, and sensitivity to light and other external stimuli, it is not clear whether these behaviors are indicative of a soul or any other non-physical aspect of existence. In scientific terms, Plants are complex multicellular organisms that are capable of carrying out various biological processes and functions. They do not have a brain or a nervous system like animals, but they do have specialized cells and tissues that allow them to respond to their environment and communicate with other plants in various ways. While it is possible to ascribe spiritual or metaphysical significance to these behaviors, it is important to note that these interpretations are largely subjective and dependent on one's personal beliefs and worldview. I think they have souls, but whatever. I would just say that have souls whenever you hear them scream in terror when they're all being picked one by one from the ground or grass being mowed. But lastly, to end this podcast for the day, I asked the AI, when will the world end? As an AI language model, I cannot predict with certainty when the world will end. It is a matter of speculation and conjecture. There are various theories and beliefs about the end of the world, ranging from scientific predictions about the eventual heat death of the universe to religious prophecies about the end times and the return of a messiah or prophet. However, it is worth noting that many of these predictions and prophecies are based on subjective interpretations of historical events, religious texts, or scientific data, and may not have any basis in reality. It is important to approach such claims with skepticism and critical thinking, and to rely on credible sources of information when forming opinions or making decisions. Ultimately, the future of the world is shaped by complex and interconnected factors, including human actions, natural disasters, and cosmic events, and it is impossible to predict with certainty what will happen in the future. I swear to God, I asked it, the last thing I asked this thing was, does jet fuel melt steel beams? And it's gone. It's deleted. Fucking government, dude, they're watching me. I had to ask it if jet fuel melt steel beams, and it's fucking gone. It doesn't want to answer that question. I'm kind of scared now that the government's watching me after asking the AI if jet fuel melts steel beams. But yeah, let me know. That's pretty much the episode. I'm telling you, man, this AI can fill content. Let me know if y'all want me to ask the AI anything in the comments. And we'll definitely keep it as an ally, the AI, for a while. I mean, I subscribed to it for a year for $30, so I'm gonna use it till I lose it, I guess. But yeah, that's AI for you. It's got its opinions. I don't even know if this one's like the smart one, but this one does kind of have its little sass to it, I guess. So yeah, thank y'all for listening again. I appreciate all y'all. Like, subscribe, share, rate, and review. Check out www.retrohorror.com for all his designs and stuff. If you'd like to buy a shirt, check out my Instagram or Twitter at Lorenzo Ariola. Check out the Patreon where we're doing bonus stuff over there. Patreon.com/Lorenzo Ariola. And I appreciate all y'all for listening and still being fans. And let me know what you think of this new kind of fucking co-host I got here going on. But yeah, thanks guys. Take care and have a great Easter. I don't know. It's Monday. Never mind. You forget about Easter. Just have a great week. All right. Take care.